Hello everybody, thank you for clicking into part 4 or scrolling into part 4 of this tower build. And today we got the big pole up over the past weekend. I had a layout. Now we're just kind of finalizing everything, getting everything as straight as possible for just a fella in the backyard is trying to do something. So let's see what we've gotten so far, and I'm going to explain what I'm going to do, and then we'll be right back. Here we go. All right, so we've got this big tall thing right here is a pulley at the top. Just to give you a recap, it has a crank here, and that cable goes up and over those pulleys, and it's going to end up spanning down to the tower section at some point. Possibly, just to give you a recap, anybody's watching this for the first time hasn't seen anything of the other, but I'm thinking it's going to attach somewhere in here. We'll figure that out once we get to that point. But right now, basically, I'm extending the tower because I want it to be taller, and the height will help with the transmission of the radio waves. And so I've got some section of boiler pipe that I'm using here, and to get it leveled up, what we're going to do is I've got it already in these here that were pre-existing when that section of tower used to be just slid into that. That's all I used to have at one point, was that one section. And nothing's fancy. I don't have anything super nice. You can see that's just some old bent up tower that I got from a friend of mine, gave it to me to help me get going on some stuff, and so I've been using it. It works. We'll work with it. It's fine. But basically sliding it one inside of the other, I don't exactly have the correct identical pipe to match to slide the two together. So I've got it slid up inside of there, and I wanted to get it level. And so basically I think that I'm pretty close with my string tied on right here. It goes all the way down to the backside over here, as you can see. And then looking down it, we've got it looks pretty middle ways, like it's slid properly left to right, centered up. And if we look down it on the line and the level, the pipe is a different height. You can see that. So just kind of eyeballing it, that looks pretty good. I think that'll work. Like I say, it'll be fine. It's anything that I have to adjust, I can do with this plate right here, because I've got nuts underneath it, nuts on the top, and I can loosen and adjust that as much, and I can do this pull pole the same way. I can slide a shim underneath it if I need to, but it's level. I think we're going to be fine. So basically we'll get that part welded up, so we'll have that stabilized, and then we're going to have to get that leveled up and stabilized over there at this point right here. You can see that. And we're going to get that done, and then weld in some braces in the center along the way to kind of tighten it up. So with that being said, let's get to it, guys. Alrighty guys, we are at a really good point of this video where we get to see some meat and potatoes in the project. Let me show you sort of the final frontier here, and then we're gonna lift this thing up without the antenna on it to see where my cable is in relative to where I'm pulling it up at, to see if I'm in the place where I need to move it up or down. You'll see shortly, but let me just show you what's going on with what we've got here. Okay, here's the lower section from the start. And it goes here, and I added a little bit of strength because this is just a really not a very high expensive section of tower, not rated for probably what I'm doing here. But we're going to see what happens because it's all we've got to work with. But I think we've got it pretty well set. This piece of pipe has got a bend in it. It caught some big wind at the other place and kind of put a small crick in the pipe. So I'm going to take it out and change it. So when you look up, you're going to see this pipe here with look like it's bent a little bit. That's not the final product. But you know, you can see where we're at. There's the pole that's going to lift it up. So let me get the camera in view and we'll crank this thing up. We'll see what happens here. See if it holds and see if it flops and wobbles. I don't know. We're going to find out. Oh wow. I would say that it looks like it's kind of up there, guys. Look at this. Let me flip the camera around. We'll start at the base and we'll go on up. I'm standing at the very bottom of it. It's that's a 4.5 minute crank, and it's not easy without, even with the antenna off of it. But I believe it's going to be just fine. I think we've got plenty of action in our pull pole. So I got to let it down and adjust my cable that pulls it up. I've got to go up one rung, and then it'll be right. So I think it's one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll get that. We'll get there. Look, you can kind of see it up there at the tippy top. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. All right. So let me show you what we're doing now. We've seen it up in the air. And just because it's going to be another week or so, I got to take one weekend off and work on other stuff here at the house. Got to cut grass at both places. And so let me just give you a quick rundown. This is the antenna that will be on there probably in 2 or 3 weeks. After I get some stuff done, I got to get my coax I got to have 2 runs of coax to work both gamma matches. This is a 4-element Mako Moonraker, but let me show you something else. This is just your basic Amtron 99 small, I think it's a 1/4 wave length antenna. It's not a 5/8, it's just your shorter Amtron 99. It was what was on the port rail. And I'd like to go ahead and crank that back up and get it out of the way of the yard so I can grade that dirt out. What the heck, let's just throw the ground plane on there for the time being. We'll put our little ground, our ground plane kit that goes back, we'll put that back on. But I had to retrofit a piece of pipe in the tip of this, which I can actually just take and pull this out and slide it back in the other way and have it like I want. But this will be dual purpose. I can clamp. I know hose clamps are really tough. I'm going to use that. That's what was on it before, and we're going to hook that up. So we'll get this on, get it crunk in the air, and we'll be back on the air in a little bit, guys. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do real quick before we completely end the video is we're going to test the antenna's SWRs to see where we're at with the frequencies that we like to run. So let me flip over to my antenna meter, I guess, or antennalyzer right quick. Here, turn this thing on. Got voltage, so we're at 24 megahertz. We're usually we're in the 26 to 27 megahertz range. So let me dial it in here. 269650 is channel 1 on 11 meters. That's not bad down on the lows. 1, 2, that's below channel 1. Let's see here. 9650. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. We're at 1, 1. We're holding a nice steady 1, 1 all the way across. It's a real touchy adjustment, so close enough. We're going to be at 1 to 1. Let's see where it starts going up. That's still okay. We're at a 50 ohm match. Let's see, where does that match in at? 26. I haven't done any coax adjusting, and I'm not going to. It's just a temporary antenna. 269650. If I had that impedance right on the ohms, it would be better. But let's see, we're doing really well up in the 27s. Moving into the 20s. That's getting a high. We can run her right in there, no problem. And I usually don't go much higher than like the 425s, 435s. That's fine at 425. Look at that. That's good. It gets 1.6 when I get into the 27.5 range. So yeah, quick little checker. So that'll work for temporary. Then we'll get the bigger antenna set up later when we put it on the tower next. But thank you for tuning in and watching this right here. Okay. Well, that is part 4 tower video. Next we'll be getting the antenna on there, which we might be a week or so out before I can do another video because I've got to get other stuff ready. Getting into the end of grass cutting season, like we said earlier, get all that done, knock all that out, and then we'll jump on some other stuff, get that done too. So thank you so much for hanging out with us, and maybe I'll hear you on the airwaves. Take it easy. I'm out.